I am your host, Nizzy, and in this video, you guys, we're going to be breaking down the recent moves the Packers have just made this morning. You guys have made a flurry of moves this morning here, trying to get under that cap for the 2022 season. Some big-time moves so far from the Green Bay Packers, like I said, you guys. Obviously, we kind of seen some of these ones coming down the pipeline here. It's just a matter of when they were going to pull the trigger on them. And they decided to this morning. Obviously, I believe we got the new league year starting up on the 16th of March here, coming up in a few days. The Packers are still well over that salary cap, so they're going to have to make a bunch more moves yet to make things work for them down the stretch here. As of right now, you guys, Zadarius Smith just got released by the Packers, as well as Billy Turner. Two staples within the team for the last few seasons here. Obviously, Bill Turner's been a huge asset on that offensive line since he got brought over from Denver 3 seasons ago, along with the Smith Bros. He's not going to be no longer a Packer anymore. I think he was just too big of a cap hit this year, as well as he was getting up there in age. He was one of our older linemen. Obviously, we draft very well with the offensive line as well. So I have no doubt that we'll probably be able to find a good, formidable right tackle either in the draft or find a cheaper option through free agency this year. We'll have to see what happens there. Maybe they'll even have Yoshi Nijman step into that right tackle position. He did a pretty good job at left tackle, covering off David Bakhtiari last season when he was still coming back from that ACL injury. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that, but Bill Turner is no longer a Packer. We saved $6 million off the cap, getting those cap numbers down a little bit more there. And then the big one, you guys, like I said, Zadarius Smith is no longer a Packer. They did finally release him this morning. Played 3 seasons with the Packers. The 2 full seasons that he did play, he had, I think, 13.5 and 12.5 sack seasons, so he was one of the tops in the league. When he was able to be healthy and out on the field. Last season was tough for the guy. Ended up missing the entirety of the season. I think he came in for a couple plays in the first playoff game that we had there versus San Francisco, where we ended up losing there, but he had missed the entire season other than week 1 with back surgery there. You guys wasn't able to really contribute at all. And that's where we really got to see what this Packers team was made of without him on the defensive side of the ball. I thought our pass rush last year was actually quite good. We had Preston and Rashawn Gary with both 9 sacks apiece last season. Dean Lowry stepped it up. I think he had 4 or 5 sacks on the season as well. Obviously we're going to need to add a piece or 2 in there. Probably some cheaper options. Obviously we're not going to sign a bona fide edge rusher like Z again. Obviously extending Preston Smith here as well this morning. So we're going to be keeping one of the 2 Smith Bros on the squad, you guys. It does suck to see Zadarius go, especially after not being able to play last season. And contribute to possibly making a championship run. It's unfortunate to see, but we are saving almost $16 million in cap space by cutting this guy. And like I said, you guys, our pass rush really didn't suffer a lot with him out last year. I thought our defense actually got better last season comparatively to the seasons before. Obviously, you've seen we didn't even allow a touchdown in that game. Versus San Francisco. Obviously there was 1 touchdown scored for them, but that wasn't off of the defense. That was the special teams that allowed that terrible touchdown to be scored. But other than that, man, our defense was outstanding last year. And if we can continue that trend moving forward here, I think we're going to have a good opportunity to make a run at a Super Bowl either this year or the next year as well. When you hold your opponent to only 13 points basically, including what the special teams allowed and everything like that. Just outstanding performance last season from the defense. So I'm not too upset losing Z. Obviously, he would have been a huge contributor to a championship run this season for us, but with that cap hit of almost 20 mil, and then, we're saving like $16 million off the cap by releasing this guy, that's huge savings. Obviously, someone's got to get cut, especially with Devontae. He might have been able to stay if Devontae was going, but obviously with Aaron Rodgers coming back, Devontae's got to stay now. Otherwise, Aaron's going to be just fuming. So we're going to have to do everything we can to get Devontae re-signed to a long-term extension here. Fingers crossed that works out before the beginning of the season. There was reports that came out earlier today as well, you guys, saying Devontae did not want to play on the franchise tag and probably won't play on the franchise tag. So it's going to be crucial for us to try and get a long-term deal done during this summer and throughout training camp to have this guy signed to an extension before the season begins. That's probably part of the reason why they franchise tagged him, so no other team can negotiate with the guy. We just kind of got the negotiating rights to him, and try and figure a deal out before the season starts, like I said there, you guys. Then we'll just talk about a little bit about the Preston Smith deal before we finish this one off, you guys. Sign an extension this morning, 4 years, $52 million extension. Apparently this is going to save around $8 million in cap space for this season coming up. So between him and Bill Turner, that's 14 million cap space you got. Then you got Z with almost 16. So you're looking at about $30 million created right there in cap space just from the moves made this morning by the Green Bay Packers organization, you guys. Really like the signing of Preston Smith. I thought he did phenomenal for us last year alongside Rashawn Gary on that offensive line, or defensive line, I should say. Between him and Gary, you bring in a couple extra pieces there. Obviously, we got Kenny Clark already in there as well. We can have another nasty pass rush again this year. Like I said, I just think we need one more big-time name. Someone either a big-time bona fide rookie that we can find out of the draft, or somebody who can bring in on like a vet minimum deal who's looking to go on a championship run. I really wouldn't even mind seeing Whitney Merciless come back. Obviously, we picked him up from the Texans here midway through the season last year. I thought he contributed quite nicely before he tore his biceps. Was able to come back for that final game in the playoffs as well off of that bicep injury. So I wouldn't mind seeing him come back on a veteran minimum. I think he could contribute decently to that pass rush for a defense there if he were to come back and kind of take some of the reps that Z had. But obviously, we need Rashawn out there most of the time. He's really stepped up over the last season or so and really, shown his true status as a number one pass rusher for this Packers team. So going to be interesting to see how all the cards fall here, you guys. Obviously, we still got a few more moves to make here before the 16th of March deadline. Going to be interesting to see if we get any news on the Aaron Rodgers contract. Obviously, there was the news broken by the mainstream media, 4 years, $200 million. Obviously, we all know that's most likely a farce. He obviously is going to stay with the Packers, but it's more likely going to be a team-friendly, cap-friendly deal. Something that allows us to kind of maneuver around the cap space a little bit here over the next few years. Keep a guy like Devontae Adams, maybe re-sign a guy like Bob Tunyon and Alan Lazard. Going to be interesting to see if we can keep MVS around. I'm kind of leaning to the fact that we move on from MVS and try and get either draft a big time receiver in the first or second round this year, or try and bring in a guy like Juju Smith-Schuster. I believe Juju's a free agent as well this year. I think he only signed a one-year deal with Pittsburgh last season. He would be a phenomenal number 2 to go alongside Devontae Adams, in my opinion. I would not mind us taking a look at that guy. Probably going to cost a bit of money, though. But yeah, you guys, it's going to be interesting to see who else is out there. I guess Allen Robinson's going to be on the market. Wouldn't mind us trying to make a move for him as well. He'd be a phenomenal number 2 to go alongside Devontae as well. So it'll just be interesting to see how much cap space we're able to free up here in the next 4 or 5 days, and see what the Packers can do come free agency, you guys. But that pretty well wraps up for this one. Just want to kind of come out with a quick video talking about the trio of moves made by the Packers on this Monday morning, you guys. The dominoes are starting to fall slowly but surely here for this Packers squad. We'll keep coming out with videos as we get more news coming out over the next few days for you guys, but that pretty well wraps her up for this one. I would love your guys' opinion in the comment section down below. Do you think these are some good moves the Packers have made so far before we get into free agency here in a few days? Also, I guess I would love your guys' opinion on the Zadarius Smith release. And just to wonder how you guys think that is. You think that's a good move for us moving forward from him? Or do you think we should have tried maybe extended him as well as Preston and keep both of those guys on for the future? We'd love your guys' opinion, like I said, in the comments section down below. Please go ahead and like this video if you like sporting content like this. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're looking for more sporting content like this in the near future. Thank you guys so much for watching, man. And this is Mizzy with Mizzy Sports Channel.